it's Jeffrey with Real Nifty Vintage, and today we're doing another vlog. So I'm here at the shop this morning, and yesterday, I was going to town in this room. I tell you what, I got just inspired. I decided to start cleaning the shelves and arranging things in better ways, and it's amazing how much space I'm starting to see open up. So over here, I'm starting to assemble my salt and pepper shakers, my creamer, sugars. That's kind of like this. So the top three I did. So the top three shelves, and then right there, those, and then all of those. So those are planters over there. These are my salt and peppers, and I could not believe it, how many I had. So all of those are salt and peppers, and then all of these are salt and peppers. And then down here, I've got a mixture of like sugars, oil, vinegar, like things that would accent your eating habits. So like cream, sugar, honey, stuff like that, kind of, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff here, oil, vinegar. And then here, more of that. So sugar, creamer sets, things like that, mustard. So that's sort of my idea. These bottom shelves, those two specifically, I haven't done anything about. They're just hanging out with themselves. But this is all my this is all my planters. So even up at the top there, I'm gonna have to maybe, and this down here has not been addressed at all. So one thing, unfortunately, the previous owner at some point did was they cut these shelves. So there had been a shelf that went across here and down there as well, and they just hacked them off. I can't fix it. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I can't even put a board over the top of this because it was like, see how it goes underneath it? This should have been continued like that, and then I guess set on top of it. Yeah, and then it would sit on top of it. But I mean, I guess I could actually get a lip like this, which is a 1x1, or basically, I don't know, something like this, and put it underneath this. Yeah, I might be able to do that. Oh, look at that. See, I'm just making up ideas now. And I would have to do it down there as well. And then if I wanted to, down there and down there. They did it, I think, yeah, they did it here and at the very end too. Huh, yeah, well, that's an option. But anyways, so all my planters are here. I've been basically going around the shop, and I've got stuff all over the ground here. I've been going around pulling things from everywhere else. That's my next live sale, by the way. It's all gonna be blue and white. Isn't it pretty? All right, we just switched to my phone because I did not bring an extra battery. So I'm gonna do my best to stabilize this. But so over here, I have my figurines, and that would be the top three shelves here, all the way down there. Those are pretty much, I mean, I had enough after last night. I did all I could do. So I'm not quite done, but I have most of my figurines here. All of the animals, and just, again, I had way more things than I thought I did. And that tends to happen whenever everything's spread out. Like, for instance, cardinals. Did I know that I had all of those cardinals? No, I thought I had maybe two. And same thing with skunks, and same things with elephants, and all kinds of things. Now these down here, I had not messed with yet. So part of the trouble is I'm putting things in groups and sections and all this, and inevitably there are sections that I'm not even aware of yet. Like brass is apparently a section. I don't know. Maybe it'll stay a section. But there's like, I'm like, well, what does this fall under? What does this fall under? Some of these things need to be hung. Like this fish would need to be hung. It's kind of cool. But I don't have all of my pegboards up and everything yet. That's another project I would like to do, is get my pegboards up. That is sort of, so there's a lot of space now that I've been kind of getting because I'm consolidating so well. So, oh, and then over here, this is done kind of. Those two shelves, I got all of my 10s up there. My pretty like serving, not serving, like little accent bowls, nut bowls, candy bowls, glass, stuff like that's there. And then over here, I have all my blown glass, art glass, stuff like that. And then even down here, some fairy lamps and Jeanette powder dishes and things like that here. Now, I hadn't gotten any further. So one of these places, I want to put like seasonal stuff, like maybe some, I don't know where, somewhere. I want to do seasonal. For instance, I've been putting together all of my St. Patrick's Day stuff. Well, those years are not St. Patrick's Day, but I have like St. Patrick's Day stuff, and I have, I don't know, like the occasional Christmas stuff and Valentine's, some of those oddball holidays, not Christmas necessarily, but the ones that I don't find a lot of stuff with. I'm thinking of just making like little clusters like on one shelf, because it's hard to find St. Patrick's Day stuff. It's exceptionally hard to find Valentine's as well. So, you know, I can put them all on one shelf, and Easter as well. I can kind of get Easter stuff in a section as well. So that'd be neat. But yeah, there's, now for the bottom, I'm really thinking about putting only dishes, like the straight up bottom row across the bottom of the whole unit. So we're talking like the Lefton, I think that's Lefton Rustic Daisy, if I'm not mistaken. Those. And whatever else, I don't know. Like, I've got some blue and white. That's mostly made in Japan. There might be some England over there. We've got Corelle, some my brain's not fully on. Vitrified China restaurant ware, things like that. We've got some of those, more of that. So a lot of that would be best suited for down on the lower shelves. I'm really now thinking I want to get these shelves put back in some fashion, because I do not like, yeah, they're great for if you have tall things, but I really don't have that many tall things. And if you have tall things, well, just don't put them on a shelf like this. You could put them on another piece of furniture, you know, like a standalone piece or something. So yeah, I see they did it to all those. But you can see just how saturated more so these shelves are. Like those three planter shelf, well, and the one up top, and then like those three, and those. And I have my salt and pepper risers. I used those in the booth whenever I had that. So it's nice to have them again, and they're great because then you can see the level. You could, if these were all on one plane down here, it would be very difficult to, for one thing, grab them. Secondly, to see them clearly. So I thought I'd put my coffee pots and teapots mostly right up here, but I don't have that many. So that's kind of what I've got, except for I have a lion one right here, but that will not fit because the height is wrong. So it might have to go on top. But like the top I hadn't really messed with either, up there down to the red doll case. So it's just sort of a state that I'm getting to and learning as I go. And as I'm wiping and as I'm pulling everything off, I'm wiping the shelves down better. Now, whenever we first got in here, we did what we could. It was dirty, and we were essentially just dusting off the shelves. This time, I'm going back with like a wet rag to actually clean them, and I'm getting all like the cobwebs. Like, I think there's still one up here that I didn't do because I didn't, like, there's like a little cobweb there, for instance. So I would wipe the back, the top, the sides, the bottom, the whole thing, because you can see there's like dust and stuff in there. And especially like when we put everything on the shelves and then we were doing the floor, sweeping and all this, and it was a dirty floor. You're a dirty floor. and it stirs things up. So not only am I doing that as I'm staging these by section, I'm going through and pulling off price stickers and cleaning the items if they're dirty, which is something that I hadn't been doing. Now, whenever you buy things from an estate sale, kind of, or an antique mall mostly, you're going to have clean items. But if you're getting them at any other kind of like an auction, sometimes they're dirty, really dirty. And I am trying not to get into that habit of just putting them straight on a shelf. I want to clean them as I get them. It's much easier to do it that way. So I just need to put these things up. That was from a recent, I already put some of it up. Aren't these cool? I did not show these. These are 1952 January January of 1952. Calendars. The graphics that print on there. This was $10 I paid for this one. I just don't see vintage calendars, and I like that. Now, I may resell those. I don't know, but I'm kind of enjoying them for the moment. Look at that one. Isn't that a pretty sunset? Gosh. There was 2 of them just like this, and that's what I bought. They didn't have any other 50s ones. They had some other earlier ones, like 1910s, 1910, 12, 15, somewhere in there. And I could have gotten them, but they were $10 each. And I'm not saying that I specifically know how much vintage calendars go for, but I just know that I wanted to buy them and I've been looking for a while. So I got them, and who knows, I might be able to sell them for not much more than $10 each, but I think I think I will be able to sell them for more. I just haven't looked into it yet. So, see, this is vintage Easter. I'm going to hang on to that, put that with my other Easter things. I don't have very many Easter things. I mean, I am excited to kind of put all that together. Like, I've got some flocked bunnies there, that rabbit. Here are my paintings, some of them, and crewels. There's some crewels down there. That pegboard was already here, and it works out well there. I'm just trying to figure out where else I want to put pegboard, because I sort of have to know before I just start slapping it up on the walls. Because if I'm going to have things like that cabinet or other cabinets, you know, you're not going to want to put pegboard up and then cover it up with, you know what I mean? Because it's a waste of money. It's just a waste. So I am thinking about putting like a rectangular piece right across the top there. Because most furniture isn't going to go that high. So I'm thinking I'm pretty safe of putting up a strip up top there. And then I am still considering like here. It's just that you can't put like really large things on it. You could put like maybe little things, like little ones like that. Well, all those would fit. But like not huge wide things like maybe that litho down there. That wouldn't go. But that one could go up there. So this room is a work in progress, obviously. I had many people mention about or a couple people say, oh, well, you could put your quilt in there. I like that idea. I still haven't wiped this thing down. So, like, these things I just threw in there because I wanted to see how pretty it looked, and it looks pretty. But I do think my quilts and things would look best in here. It would keep the dust off. It would just look nice. But then yet part of me likes the idea of a curio cabinet. So, grand scheme, I'd like to get more curio cabinets because I just like the look of them, the wood and everything. And I'm really a fan of like antique wood, these darker colors. I have been for years. This with the barley twist legs. I got this mat. It's dirty because I've been cleaning, and I just put it down yesterday. This was a subscriber gift. So if any of you are familiar with Elderly Poodle from the live sales especially, she gifted this to me. Her name's Catherine. And she sent this to me. I love it. It's actually super, super soft. Way softer than what I had. And is it around here, what I had? Did Aaron take that away? I swear. I moved something for 1 second and he takes it away. It was basically like I had 2 rugs folded over, and it was thick. It was like this thick, but it didn't fit. This feels way lush, way better. This feels way better. So as far as the other side, okay, it's really cold over here. You may not know this, but I do not have heat out here in these rooms. I could if I wanted to, but I don't, because I don't want to waste the money. So there's like that wall back there, and it is like a insulated wall, and the heat ducts are actually in that room. They don't even come out here. So if I wanted to heat this out here, I would have to open that door and the other door, and then it would just heat it. But this is a lot of space that nobody's in really. So this is the bar that we were looking at before, and I don't remember where I left off as far as, all of that. I did get a lot of recommendations on what to do with this, and I I'll tell you that it's not at the top of my list for, you know, things to focus on necessarily. It's definitely something that I want to think about, but where I'm most leaning is, and I don't know if I even mentioned this, but I said that I was going to probably just put this on top here, at least for the time being. This is from a cabinet that I had gotten somewhere, somehow, I'm not sure where. And I don't even think I took it, I don't know. But I have this piece, the cracked ice. I learned that you could still buy the cracked ice from Wilson Art, I think. Again, I'm just not sure if that's a project that is worth the time to tackle. So it looks fine just like that. Another option I had heard was to put down, which I kind of like, is to put down just kind of where it's messed up. So like say here over to there, I could put a big decal down, whether it's my like logo or something. So there's options, but for now it's looking good right there. The trash can, yeah, I might hang on to that. It's kind of neat. It is usable. It's double-sided. I had questions on that. It is double-sided, and I could use it in some fashion somewhere over here, somewhere maybe on the straight side, right over here. Boop, and then it would have the trash can right there, and then there'd be one on the other side, and that would sort of cap off this corner. Although, oh, that's actually smart. No, it's not smart. It could be smart because you're gonna have the trash can. Okay, there is gonna be a partial wall here, so I would just have to see how it lays out. You know, with the kitchen and the wall and everything. So yeah, I am looking at maybe doing some kind of wallpaper on that wall. I have to admit, I'm not sure what to do with this wall because part of me thinks, well, why don't I, while I have like the freedom to with no floors, why don't I stud that out and insulate it? But of course, that's not just a simple project because that's not the only wall. So you're like, okay, well, I'll stud that one out, I'll insulate that one out. And then you look over here and you got the same blocks there. And it's the whole thing up there, you know, you got to pretty much take down all the pegboard, do all the steps, do the whole thing. And then it's the same out on that side too. Even behind those, obviously behind those shelves in there, that's just the same thing. So it's not, it's like, why do I just do, you know what I mean? You start with one wall and you're like, well, why am I doing it at all if I'm not going to do all the walls? But I don't know. I'm just trying to think about what my best options are. Part of me thinks maybe I should stud it out, get the pegboard, and then put some sort of, what we did in our basement originally is we had we had concrete walls and we had styrofoam, big styrofoam sheets. And you could put those up on the wall. And then what that would allow me to do is that would kind of insulate a little bit and then not put up a drywall, but put up pegboard across the entire, like on the studs. So then it would just be one big wall of pegboard. So that's an idea. Oh boy. Okay. So the interesting thing is that wall though is, this is what Aaron's dad told me. He said that the wind comes from that way or something comes from that way. So that's like one of your walls so I think it would actually help by doing something to it. That wall's maybe colder. I don't know. I need to think about this stuff. Well, now we're back to my regular camera and I'm going to wrap up this video here. So thanks for watching and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.